There's a famous saying that you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Does anybody know what that means? Joe.
Maybe it's saying that that it's maybe harder to learn new stuff if like you're older.
So, good thought. The saying is basically describing this idea that you are who you are. Whatever habits you have, that's what you'll do for the rest of your life. You can't really change. You are who you are. There are some examples of certain names or labels or characteristics that some students have in school. Does anybody have any ideas about what those are? Any thoughts? What are some labels, what are some names of what people are regarded as?
Bully.
Okay, bully. I'm a bully. What else? Dave?
A legend.
Legend. Okay, not sure what that is. Yeah.
Student.
Student. Okay, so specifically we're talking about like, I'm not good at math. Or I'm not athletic. I'm not a reader. I'm a class clown. I'm a quiet person. I'm loud and I'm energetic, right? And these ideas are something that people know me by, and this is who I am. I want to share an experience with you all about a traumatic experience that I had as an 8th grader. I was playing in a basketball league at the center. And just context, I was a last round pick, and they didn't really want me on the team to begin with. And I'm playing in the game because those are the rules, right? Everybody must play. So they put me in the game. And I looked up at the scoreboard and I saw that we were down by 2. Context, the scoreboard operator was late in putting the next 2 points that was scored. So by the time I looked back, it was a tie game at that point. But the problem was, in between the scoreboard operator putting up those 2 points, I thought we were losing. So I went to foul because there was 5 seconds left in the game. And I fouled the greatest free throw shooter in this community's history. And needless to say, he hit both free throws and we were devastated. My team killed me. Aaron, what's wrong with you? Why would you do such a thing? Are you stupid? Do you know how to play basketball? These were the things that they were telling me. As it was, I was self-conscious about my standing on the team because I knew I was a last round pick and I knew that I wasn't really so good. Boys, I had every reason to say, this is so stupid and this is not for me. I wanted to, and I did blame the scoreboard operator. I wanted to, and I did blame the mean kids who were saying not nice things to me, and I was saying that it was everybody else's problem, not mine. But all that resulted from that was me feeling miserable and depressed and not wanting to play basketball for the rest of my life, which, if you know who I am, literally negates my very essence. I live for basketball. I would die for basketball. All I wanted to do was play basketball. But boys, let me tell you what I decided to do. I decided that I was going to work on my game. That maybe, just maybe, there was something wrong with my play. And I was going to modify it and work on it. And so every single day after school, I went home and I practiced. And the only reason why I knew to come in the house was because it was so dark outside I couldn't see the basketball. Boys, some of us in this room right now might have certain labels, might have certain identities that maybe we feel is set in stone and that we can't change. I am who I am. But boys, I must dispel that notion. Change is possible. Every single person in this room has the capacity to change. The question is, do you want it? And so there are 2 ideas, there are 2 special ingredients that go into change. Number 1, do you want it? Are there times when you wake up in the morning, are there times where you go to bed at night and you say to yourself, I'm not happy. This is my circumstance, this is what I'm involved in, and I don't like it about myself. And if you say yes to that question, then boys, you have motivation, you have a reason to commit yourself to a cause. So get up and go with it. Don't just ignore it and say, I can't do it. Use it to fuel you and to motivate you to push yourself, because boys, making change is very difficult. Which leads me to secret ingredient number 2. Ingredient number 2 comes in the form of a question. And you're going to be hearing this question from me a lot this year. Are you average or are you special? See, boys, in life, statistically speaking, we are always broken down into 3 categories, human beings. There are those who are average, who are ordinary people who are going to do ordinary things. There is special, people who go above and beyond what an average, ordinary person would do, and then there's below average. That's just the way it works. That is the way we identify and understand human beings. And the question becomes, what type of person are you? And most likely, statistically speaking, if you're sitting in this room today, you are an average, ordinary Joe. Because that's the human condition. This is what we do. We do average things. Ordinary things. But there's a misconception about being special that I have to combat for a second. See, people think that being special, being elite, is reserved for a certain type of person. It's somebody who's a leader. It's somebody who is the best of what it is that they do. And boys, that is not true. You see, being special is committing yourself to a cause of the following. Number 1, are you willing to be self-aware and understand who you are and how you operate? You see, average people most likely do not reflect on who they are and how they operate. They just operate. And so when you're not aware and when you are not in control of who you are, you tend to do ordinary things. I'll give you an example. You're in class and the teacher calls you out for doing something that perhaps you did or didn't do. And what's the first thing an average, ordinary Joe will do?
Not me.
Teacher's fault, not mine. I know that I didn't do anything. Their problem, not mine. And you know how I know it's true? Because every single one of us do this. It's not reserved for a certain type of person. It's every single person, because this is the way we are born. We are born average and ordinary. And so the question becomes, boys, are you happy with that circumstance? Are you happy with the results that are produced when that happens? And if the answer is yes, so okay, fadal, keep doing whatever it is that you do. You do you. But if the answer is no, if you are sick and tired of the end result of what happens every single time there's an unfortunate circumstance and you go and blame other people, I have an alternative solution for you. Choose special. Go above and beyond what an average, ordinary Joe would do and say to yourself, I know that it's not my fault and I know that some things are out of my control, but you know what I am going to do? I'm going to control the way I react. I'm going to control who I am. I'm going to change the label that I have been afforded and given my entire life. So maybe up until today, you're lazy, you're not a reader, you can't act so well, you're not so athletic, you're not so funny. Chances are, statistics will show that an average, ordinary Joe would blame the world for the circumstances of their own respective life. And that doesn't make them bad people. It just makes them who they are. And that's fine. If that's who you want to be, then at least respect it and own it. And this is who I am. I'm an average person who does average things. No problem. It doesn't make you a bad person. I hope nobody in this room thinks that I am belittling or demeaning anybody who chooses a particular lifestyle. No problem. But here's what I know. My job as your advisor is to push you and to motivate you to be the absolute best you can be. And I will not allow the reality for you to settle for less than more than what you are capable of doing. We will not be average. We will be special. And I will push you and I will motivate you and I will do everything in my capacity to help you get there. But it starts with 2 ingredients. Number 1, do you want it? Are you tired of the circumstances that are resulted from what goes on in the negativity of your life? And if the answer is yes, then we move on to secret ingredient number 2. Are you average or are you special? Will you do what everybody else will typically do? Or will you go above and beyond? And above and beyond is difficult, boys. It's hard. And it's not easy. Because if it was easy, guess what? Everybody else would be doing it. But the fact that it's hard makes it special in and of itself. So boys, the question is clear. Do you want to be average or do you want to be special? The choice is yours. Shabbat shalom.